Hello, John Posey here, and I just wanted to give a 2 week update. I was last week was YP week. All of the young professional teams met, all except one. Five of the teams, of the six teams that we have met, and it was an amazing week, and the reports were outstanding. I left the country on Monday of last week and just returned on Wednesday of this week. And I was in Botswana. A very dear friend of mine I've known for 35 years had me come and speak about marketplace ministry and the importance of focusing our attention on the next generation. And so I was at a men's conference where I shared the ideal of mentoring and why that's important. I also spoke at his church, a very powerful church, and spoke on the importance of the fact that every person here is in full-time ministry, and you are a marketplace minister. You are a marketplace ambassador. And I talked about the fact that 92% of Jesus's ministry was in the marketplace. The ground zero is not Sunday morning service, it's the marketplace. And that how to build influence where it matters. I actually taught people how to develop their networks and how to use that to not only grow their own brand and business, but how to use that to position themselves to be influencers to impact the culture with the gospel of Jesus Christ. And then I spoke at a Bible school. He has a Bible school where he sends students all over the continent of Africa. And in the morning time, I shared with the Bible school students that were full-time, and then I spoke in the evening service about the Bible school students there. And I was just teaching these Bible school students how to develop as leaders, and that you have to be the leader of one. And I say this way, if you can be the leader of one, you can be the leader of many. But if you can't lead one, you can't lead any. So I talked about the importance of leading yourself and what that looks like, and how God wants to use you to influence people with the gospel of Jesus Christ. And all that was done in this country. And here in the States, all of the teams that I've trained they were running on their own. And it was just wonderful to see how things are being handled. You know, it's so important to me that as we build our ministry here, that this ministry can run without me, so that we can scale it and we can see the next generation of leaders raised up. And most of the teams were run by our graduates. And so it's a testament to your prayers, your support, your encouragement to help us continue to build this army of multi-generational, multicultural spiritual reproducers. Even out of the country, we had new members joining teams, and the teams ministering and building relationship with their own new team members. I'm so proud of the way that our leaders are growing here at CBMC. And God had a chance to speak to me. It was a long flight back, actually to and from, but especially coming back, 23-hour flight. So I had some time to really think and ponder and do some planning and some reflecting. And I have some things the Lord is directing me to do a better job as a leader. Now, I also want to, speaking of leadership, I want to talk to you a moment about leadership coach training. We have a training coming up here June the 7th. This is on this next Saturday, and we still have a few seats open. Now, I'm going to tell you why this is important. If you want to grow in your leadership and your influence, whether that's in your home, your business, and specifically, if you really want to help building this next generation of leaders, you really need leadership coaching. This is going to help you become more effective at asking questions and unlocking the potential of these young men and their families. And so I want you to no longer delay. Go ahead and get signed up for it. There's information in this about leadership coach training. I need your help to do it. And last of all, we have our prayer breakfast coming up. I need you to go ahead and get signed up for that. I'll be a sponsor, a table sponsor, half a table, be a corporate sponsor, and let's make a big splash here in September the 11th. And that big splash is going to propel us into the next year. God bless you. Thank you so much for your encouragement, your prayers, your support. I'm still overcoming jet lag, but it's great to be back home. And I'm looking forward to really building in the weeks to come in the areas that the Lord has assigned us. This is the assignment He's given us, and we're on fire and passionate about the impact that we want to make. I want to say one more thing. I was in my flight, I sat next to a doctor, anesthesiologist, and he began to ask me questions about what I did. And I began to share. He's from India. He has a son that's right here in the Atlanta area. And he began to ask me about what I did. And he says, "So you're a social doctor?" And I said, "I never thought about the ideal of social doctor." He was just talking to me about how important the work that I'm doing is and how it's going to shape culture and shape society. And he was so glad to be able to meet me. And he wants to introduce his son to me. And so the Lord is just working, and we get a chance to be a part of what God is doing. I look forward to our giving our update next week.